Yes, ma'am, ready, ma'am.
Good evening and a very, very warm welcome on behalf of AKG Public School. This is an interesting and a very informative talk that is very needed for today. And the talk titled Cyber Safety for Children. We'll begin with the story first before I introduce the resource person for you. This is a story of Barbaric. Barbaric was a character of the Mahabharata. And lot many of us really don't know about Barbaric. And this was the greatest warrior in the Mahabharata times. The story goes, Krishna wants to go and find out how much of time it will take for Mahabharata war to get over if they have to do it alone. So he goes to each warrior and says, how much time do you think it will take, the Mahabharata will take? So each one replies, there is a reply from Bhishma. He says about 20 days if I have to stand alone. Dronacharya, the greatest warrior, says about 25 days. Karna says about 24. And it goes on, Arjuna says more than that, 28. He goes to Barbaric. And Barbaric says about a minute. That's all. Krishna is astonished. He wants to find out if Barbaric really has this capacity of finishing the entire Mahabharata in a minute. So he says, how can you do this? How can you manage this? Incidentally, there is also a story that Barbaric was the grandson of Bhima, the son of Gatotkacha. It's also believed that Barbaric was not completely human. He was a robo and he possessed artificial intelligence. He also had the power of all the weapons. So he could actually demarcate what his target was and just wipe them in 3 arrows. So he says, it will only take me 3 arrows, only that time for me to completely evacuate the war. So Krishna asked Barbaric, now he wants to know which side he will be. He says, which side will you side, whether you'll side the Pandavas or the Kauravas? The war was on both sides. So Barbaric says, look, I have some kind of dharma and I can't take sides. I will take only whichever side is weaker, I will go into that side. So he says, okay, now Pandavas are weaker, I'll go to the Pandavas side. Now, then Krishna says, if you come to the Pandava side, the Kaurava side will go weaker. Then what will you do? So Barbaric says, I'll go to the Kaurava side. Krishna is astonished by this answer. Only then does Krishna find out that Barbaric is not human intelligence, but artificial intelligence without too much of emotion. So Krishna says, if you go on switching sides from Pandavas to the Kauravas, you will be destroying both sides and ultimately both sides, they will lose the war. So Barbaric does not know what to do. He says, what do you want me to do? Yeah, this is what I was told. So Krishna says, no, you can't participate in the war. I just need your head. Barbaric was okay for it. So he removed his head, the skull, and then he gave it to Krishna. He was still alive. That's why Barbaric was called a drone or an artificial intelligence, not a human being. Friends, this story is still there. I believe it was excavated in Rajasthan 1,000 years back. I'm not telling you an epic story which did not happen. So they excavated the barbaric skull. This barbaric skull has eyes of a camera. And what Krishna did with this skull was, because Barbaric said, I want to witness the war. I can't be without witnessing the war. So Krishna actually gave him 3 arrows, like a tripod, like how we do to drones today, placed the head there and kept him in a mountain peak. He said, you can watch the Bharata from there, from an aerial perspective and see what is happening. It is believed that Dhritarashtra, the blind king in Bharata, watched this live show, what was going on, like a cricket match in his palace. So how did this happen? there is also a story base that this barbaric's eyes were like cameras, and they could relay what is happening and telecast it there in the palace, where the blind king could actually visualize and see what was happening in the war field. So what does this show us? That technology was not something that we have started using suddenly. Barbaric should have definitely not been a human. He should have possessed something like a robo or a machine, because the skull is still there. It is not a human bone skull. It is some metal, something that it is made up of. It is still there. It's excavated in Rajasthan with the title barbaric. Barbaric in Sanskrit itself means inhuman. That is why the term barbaric came up, even in English. Barbaric, uncivilized, inhuman, it says. So he was definitely not a human. And he had artificial intelligence. That's why he said, I can switch sides. Because he didn't have any emotion. Barbaric's eyes were used like a camera to relay the war. So which means technology was used 5,000 years back. The first AI must have been used about 5,000 years back. So what we are using right now may not be the latest in technology. Maybe somewhere down the line, we just missed all that. Even then, even at that time, 5,000 years back, when the Bharata War took place, when barbaric was relayed, used like a drone and artificial intelligence and robots, Krishna was very worried about the safety. So he said, you must be at hilltop. You should watch the aerial view. You can go around the battlefield. You can relay. So definitely there were also some kind of norms for this relay that happened. Cyber safety. The title that we have right now was thought of even then, because everything is happening direct. Everything is happening live. So cyber safety is extremely important. We cannot just give away all the innovations and technologies to children to play with. Now that we are so dependent on technology, we also have to be equally careful as to what we are doing first and what our children are doing. Every child needs to be told that cyber is not always safe. The cyber space is a space where we have to be very careful what we are sharing, what we are talking, photographs uploaded, everything has to be extremely careful. Anything in the world has to be used wisely, more so for cyberspace. Now, when children are dependent so much only on technology and cyber for their everyday life lessons, education, I think all of us, parents and teachers, have to teach them some cyber safety norms. So here we are. Archana, our counselor, will be taking us through this cyber safety for children. She has completed her master's in counseling and guidance from the Madras School of Social Work. She is associated with the Institute of Child Health Hospital in Egmore, and also she is associated with various centers, counseling centers in Chennai. She also counsels children with disabilities. She's conducted various workshops on life skill management and soft skills. I really have the honor of welcoming you, Archana, to talk on cyber safety, which is so critical for today's children. Now over to Archana.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those lovely words. Good evening to all. So the topic that I am meeting you all today with is a very important and very pertinent topic for the current situation. It deals with the cyber safety of our children. It is just a check whether our children and even us, are we really cyber safe? Okay, first, let me start out with what is cyberspace? What is this cyber? What is cyberspace? Cyberspace refers to a virtual computer world, and more specifically, any electronic medium that is used to facilitate online communication. That is, anything. See, now everything, as ma'am pointed out, everything we are dependent on online transactions, online classes. We are more dependent on the online system, on the cyberspace due to this pandemic. So it is equally important that we know how to be cyber safe and why is it important to be cyber safe. This is what we are going to see in this session today. See, what constitutes cyberspace? What is it? We have our mobiles, our iPads, our tablets, our desktops and laptops. Okay, let me take you to a time these things came to Indian subcontinent. It came to India only in the late 90s and early 2000s. Before that, we had face-to-face communication. We were, when guests came home, we welcomed them warmly. Okay, we had a lot of movement. We had to go to places. We have to come back. We had a lot of communication. But as this cyberspace took over us, that is from the beginning of the 2000s to till now, okay, these 2 years have been completely, these 2 years have made us completely dependent on online and cyberspace. But even before that, due to this advent of mobiles and laptops and tablets and video games and online games, YouTube videos, children, particularly children, are greatly affected. They are so addicted to this games and online videos that they forget communication. Even for elders, we are so much dependent on texting. We started texting, we started sending emails. So the real communication of writing letters or communicating uh, word to word communication has stopped. Word man face to face communication and man to man communication slowly started stopping. And today, in these 2 years, we have we are completely dependent on online communication. So what has these 2 years done to us and our children, and mainly to our children? This is what we are going to see in this session today. What are the effects of cyberspace or the internet? Cyberspace is nothing but internet. So what is the effect of cyberspace or internet on children? See, it raises the temptation. Okay, by children I mean from 5 years to the late teens. These children are tempted. They are all the time tempted to play online games. Yes, they are tempted to see online videos. Okay, they are very tech savvy and they download videos, games, everything, and it has made them so addictive. It has made them completely addictive that even when parents call them, children are so non-responsive. They just don't want to get up from the sofa or the chair they are sitting on. Once upon a time, when we watched a lot of TV, we were called couch potatoes. Now children are becoming couch potatoes due to the advent of these online games and online videos and some interactive games that are happening. And most of them are, believe me when I say, most of them are very, very scary games. Actually, these games initially they were educational games and something which triggered our creativity and our logic. But nowadays, these games are very, very scary games, okay, which might give children nightmares. It is very, very addictive and it is a real no-no to children playing these games. What happens when children play these games? They lose focus. They reduce the concentration on other works and day-to-day activities is completely reduced. They cannot focus on anything else but the mobile phone, tablet, or the iPad. They are completely servants. They're becoming completely surrendered to these games, which is highly harmful. It reduces their concentration. It reduces their memory power. It gives them sleeplessness. Okay, it gives them nightmares. It gives them sleeplessness, which is very, very bad. Because when the children don't have an 8-hour sleep, they cannot focus the next day. They have fatigue. They have complete tiredness because they keep holding the gadget in their hands all the time. It is also very, very bad for their eyesight. Their eyesight, because of the radiation that the mobile phone is giving. And till the mobile phone is out of charge, they keep playing. Many children I have seen, till the mobile phone has 5% charge, 4% charge, they keep playing. This is very, very bad. The whole body is affected because of the radiation, and the brain and the whole complete body is affected because of this radiation. I would like to give you an example. A teenager, a 18-year-old, was sitting in his computer and he was playing games. This was just last year. He was playing games as well as he was attending his online classes, but again he spent a lot of time playing games. And suddenly one whole day through the night he has been playing games, and when he got up from his chair that morning, he was not able to walk. And finally he went into a very serious condition, and doctors were not able to save him. So it affects your knees, yes, your hands, your coordination, everything gets affected, and more so for children. Also, children refuse to do any other work. If you are giving them any household chores, they're not willing. They're not willing to get up. They're not willing to respond to your call. If you call them by name, they are not willing to respond. I am sure many of you will be able to relate to this. They are not willing to respond to their names, or they are not willing to do any other work. You give them a tablet or give them a mobile, they'll be happily playing. Some parents are very, very proud of this fact, but it is not so. It is not something which we should be proud of, something we should be watchful for, something we should watch out for. So it brings us to this topic of cyber safety. So internet is a very, very useful resource. It is a very, very useful technology if we know to handle it right. Anything for that matter is a very useful resource if we know to handle it right. It is like a coin. It has two sides, the good side and the not so good side. So that brings us to this topic of cyber safety. What is cyber safety? Cyber safety is the responsible use of information and communication technologies such as the internet, social media, online games, smartphones, tablets, and other connected devices. So we should use it safely and responsibly. How do you use the information? Has to be safe and responsibly communicated. How do you do that? Cyber safety education provides students with the knowledge and skills that they need to stay safe in online environment. So cyber safety education needs to be given to children. That is what we are going to see here. How to use information safely and responsibly. Cyber safety or cyber hygiene is no more a choice. It has become a necessity because in these 2 years, we are totally dependent on online. And now if we are going to say, no, you have to do it everything physically, see, most of them will not like it because we are so used to this online shopping. Everything is online. So cyber safety or cyber hygiene is no more a choice. It is the necessity for a safe and secure lifestyle. Cyber safety protects you from external intruders. So what happens? Let's see. Why is cyber safety important? Why is it important? Let us see. First, we have to stay safe. Okay, don't give out your personal information to people you don't know. Children, okay, I mean older children, they are all on Facebook. Even younger children, I think Facebook is, you can join Facebook when you're 18 or something, but even younger children give fake date of birth and they join Facebook, which is not at all good. It is not good for the child. They think it's joining Facebook or any social media as a status quo. So what do? They give fake details, fake date of birth alone, because name and all they are giving same, fake date of birth alone, and they are joining Facebook and other social media. So you should not give out any personal information to people or places you don't know. Okay, don't put where you are going, some location, what you are doing. If you're watching a film, where are you watching? All those details are coming. I mean, children are putting it upon Facebook and other social media platforms. Okay, and other thing is, when Facebook was new, what we had this thrill of inviting our online friends home just to check if they are real. Okay, but actually don't meet up. Meeting someone you have only been in touch through online can be very, very dangerous. Okay, you will call them, you'll invite them with a good intention, and you tend to tell everything about yourself in that excitement. Don't do that. If they are online, let them be your online friend. Okay, and one more thing I would like to stress here is online friendship is different. Your family and friends are different. Okay, your family and friends will be always with you. Please remember that. Yes. So even accepting emails, files, pictures, or texts from people you don't know can create problems. Yes, somebody says lucky draw or any promotional mail. Don't believe them. It might all be false and frivolous. Check if the information is reliable. Yes, check if information is reliable, and then only you go ahead, even if you want to help somebody through online. Okay, if you are facing any problems or somebody is making you very uncomfortable online, please talk to an adult or tell somebody, tell a counselor, tell a trusted person. Yes. So internet safety, when we look for children, it comes as a top priority while your children browse the web. It is important to safeguard them from the dangers of spams, malwares, and identity threats. Here I'd like to say an example where I think there is some online game where you can link with other person through social media and play. This was in the news also recently. So one girl was playing, and she got so close to her partner who was playing along with her. And one fine day, this partner comes home, picks her up without the knowledge of anyone, and just kidnaps her. Luckily, she was traced and found in Cuddalore. This is just 1 month back. This was in the news. So all these are happening due to unsafe practices in the cyberspace. So how to stay cyber safe? Okay, let's stay cyber safe. But how? I need the laptop. I need the internet connection. I can't just stop using the internet. See, everything is online. You can ask me, everything is online, ma'am. I can't stop using everything. I can't ask my child to stop using everything. I'm not asking your child to just be banned of using the internet or his laptop or his desktop or whatever. Just be aware. Yes, parents, please be aware of the online games that your children play. Yes. Please know the name. Please see the content of what they are playing. Yes, just ask them how to play. Just show them as if even if you don't have an interest, just 1 minute, just ask them, how do you play this? Tell me, what is it? And look at the content. It will definitely help you to know what your child is up to. Okay, and one more thing, in abroad and all, they are having the desktop or laptop in the living room, right in the living room. So, but in India, most of the houses, what we do is we have it inside our rooms. Yes, inside your children's room or inside your room. Yes, so when the child is using the system, you actually don't know what he or she is playing. Yes, even sometimes in the midst of online classes also children tend to play. All this should be curbed. Okay, then have a check on their social media. By check, I mean you can also become their friends on FB and see who are all their friends. Are they your friends and relatives, or are they people known to you, family, friends? You can keep a check. Or if it is a new person, ask your child who that person is, how he came into contact with that person, what are all the messages that he has passed on, what is the conversations that has been going on. You can all ask this to your child, to your teenager, in a very friendly manner, and keep a watch on the social media platform. Okay, build up the trust within your child to make sure that he comes and he freely shares information on social media with you, like the photos or whatever he's sharing on social media. Let it be communicated to you, not only family pictures and family friends pictures, whatever is being uploaded on social media, let him freely come and share it with you. Also, ask children to keep their passwords a secret, not to share it with friends, not to share it with anybody, any online friend, any classmates, nobody. Your password is your priority. It is your key to unlock your system or your social media platform. So please ask children, encourage children to keep their passwords a secret, but make sure they write it in a piece of paper and give it to you in case there are any problems in the future. Tell children not to share any personal details. Like I told you, what is that? Celebrating some festival or watching some movie at some particular theater. Don't share any personal details or family details online. Yes, not to share, because when you see somebody's social media profile, you will know everything about them if they are going to share their personal details, their children's names, spouses' names, their workplace, everything. In a jiffy, you know everything about a person the minute you open their social media platform, maybe Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. You will know something about them. Anybody who opens your Facebook profile will know something about you within 5 minutes of going through your Facebook profile. And somebody somewhere will come and ask you, hey, I saw your photo, it is very nice. You don't even know who that person is. So please don't allow such calls to come to you, or please don't allow any intruders into your private space. Your social media platforms are your private spaces. So please keep them very, very cyber safe. No intruders. Also, you can ask your child to limit the internet usage. There are timers and there are reminders. For example, in YouTube, there is a timer which says within 1 hour you can use the YouTube videos. You can watch YouTube videos for 1 hour, and again after 1 hour it will remind you, please rest. So you have reminders to tell you to limit your internet usage. You can put up those reminders, you can put up those child locks for different apps in your mobile phone. Because when you see a mother's mobile phone, when the mother has a child from 5 years to 18 years, the mobile phone is full of games, completely full of games. So all these apps do have a child lock system which parents can use and lock the app. Also, YouTube videos have parental locks and parental controls just like our television sets. So you can use that and you can just say, I don't recommend this video on YouTube, and it goes off. So your child won't know where it goes. She or he will just search for it and then forget about it. So the child has to be kept very, very safely, not only against the pandemic, but also from the cyberspace. You have to be aware. Your parents need to be completely aware of the children's ongoings on the online platforms. Also, there are certain interactive games like Talking Tom and Angela, which, if I may mention, which asks the child about their personal details, about how many members in the family, their names, and all the details. So please ask the child not to divulge such details. Actually, these apps repeat what the child says. So it is so much fun for the child. So the child keeps on repeating what the character is saying. So when the character is asking, the child inadvertently he or she responds of what her likings are, what her parents' names are. So immediately, if you find your child talking to herself on the phone with the phone in hand, please stop the child. Yes, restrict internet usage of children. Restrict it only to the online classes. Tell them something, because the cyberspace is affecting the physical, mental, psychological, social, emotional skills, the entire personality of the child, which we teachers are trying to groom and bloom, is being affected. So our children are very, very precious. They are the future of this nation and they are the next generation. We are responsible enough to build a healthy and wise generation. Let's work towards it. We have to be aware and connect with care. Internet safety is our #1 priority. If you are cyber safe, your child safe. Thank you.
It was wonderful, Archana. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
dear parents, I hope you know that everything that we share in the cyber safe space is all stored. Nothing is really private. So for us and for our children, we have to, if pandemic is creating a fright, cyber safety is also creating the same fright. We as teachers, counselors are going through this every day. It is stopping the orientation of the children. It is also not letting them be safe. One slip in the cyberspace can create huge repercussions. So please take care, children. Please take care of what you are sharing and what we are doing. Is cyber really a bane or a boon? We really don't know, but let's use it as a boon, because these things, like what I am saying to you right now, is becoming really possible through the cyberspace. But please take care of it, and please take care of the children and tell them about cyber safety, educate them, cyber hygiene is as important as physical hygiene also. So please make children aware of it. Thank you, teachers and parents who have joined us in this session. I am Dharni, and this is on behalf of AKG. We are signing off for the day. We will definitely catch up at another session with something to do for children and parents. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for sharing the time with us. Bye-bye.